Welcome students, myself Professor Ravinder Jain and you are watching my lecture on computer fundamentals. This is part 1 of my series of lectures on this topic. Now we start with a question that what is a computer? What is a computer? There may be several answers to this question. The definition of a computer is generally given according to its function. A very common definition of a computer is an electronic device which accepts data and processes it according to set of instructions. Or program given to it. And then finally converts this processed data into required results. Students, this definition is self-explanatory. Now we will discuss types of computers. There are 3 types of computers: digital, analog and hybrid. This digital has further 2 types. One is purpose wise and another one is size and performance wise. This purpose wise computer is further classified in 2 categories: special purpose, general purpose. And the computer which is based on size and performance wise, it is categorized in further 5 classes. One is embedded, micro, mini, mainframe and supercomputers. Students, this microcomputer has further 3 types. One is programmable, second one is which includes laptop, desktop, notebooks, and the third one is workstation. Now I will discuss one by one. First I take this digital computer. It is that computer which converts the data into binary digits. Binary digits are 0 and 1. All the data is converted into 0 and 1. These computers are very fast in comparison to analog and hybrid. All business and scientific calculations are done with the help of this digital computer. In purpose-wise classification, special purpose computers are those computers which are designed for a specific task. And the general purpose computers are those computers which can work in a versatile manner, which can work differently in different applications. Size and performance wise computers. The first one is embedded computers. Students, we know that in today's life, all TVs, washing machine and electronic gadgets like wristwatch, They all are computerized, controlled. They have inbuilt some types of computer, and it means all these electronic gadgets are embedded computers. These embedded computers are special purpose computer. As every TV or a washing machine has its own specific purpose computer. Microcomputers are those computers which are controlled by microprocessors. Structural components of a microcomputer are input units, CPU, central processing unit, and output unit. These microcomputers include programmable microprocessors and laptop, desktop, notebooks, and the last one is workstation. Laptop, desktop, notebooks, all these microcomputers are for personal use. Whereas these programmable microcomputers they help some other electronic machine. And workstation are used for professional and business purposes. Workstations are very fast and have large memory capacity. These mainframe computers are large computers, and they are manufactured by large companies, big companies like IBM, and they are used in big industries. And this mini computer is a computer which play a role in between micro and mainframe. That is, these mini computers are used for departmental or small organization functioning. And the last one, this supercomputer, it's a very powerful machine, and it has several processors which run simultaneously. Therefore, speed of the computer is very fast, and these computer can make huge amount of calculations in a second, which are beyond the imagination of a human person. Now we come to this analog computer. These computers are generally used for measurements, like for measuring temperature, current, voltage. So these digital ammeter, voltmeters, and thermometers, they all are analog computers. Analog computers can make only measurements. They can't do any type of calculations. And the hybrid types of computers are those computers which consist of both digital and analog. It means these computers can make measurements as well as calculations. Students, our main focus will be on microcomputers, on this category, which are programmable, and the computers which we generally use, laptop, desktop, notebooks, and the workstations. Now our next topic is computer organization. We will discuss computer organization. Computer organization means structural parts of a computer. Basic parts of a computer are input unit. This is central processing unit, which is called CPU, and the output unit. Central processing unit further consists of ALU, arithmetic logical unit, MU, memory unit, and CU, control unit. Input unit accepts the information from the user. These informations may be a program, some data, or some sort of command or instructions. Then input unit transfer the program, data, or command from user language to computer language, computer understandable language, and that is binary digits 0 and 1 language. This transformation is done by input interface. It's a device in the input unit which is called input interface, which transform these all informations from user language to computer language. Examples of input unit are keyboard, mouse, touchpad, joystick, light pen, trackball, scanner, or you can think over any other device which provides all these things to this input unit, which provides all these things with the help of these input units to the CPU. Students, you might be well aware of all these input units. You know, keyboard, mouse, touchpad, joystick, light pen, scanner. This trackball is a input unit which transfer dynamic data, motional data to the CPU. Now we come to central processing unit, which is called CPU, and it consists of three other units: ALU, MU, and CU. CPU is brain of the computer. CPU makes all sort of calculations or takes decisions with the help of arithmetical logical units, and then it stores all the data, whether it is coming directly from input unit or it is achieved from ALU after making calculations or decisions. So all those data are stored in this memory unit. Third part of this CPU is control unit. As its name suggests, it will have control over the input unit, it will have control over the arithmetical logical unit, and it will have control over the output unit also. The control of this unit over the input unit, arithmetical logical unit, and output unit is shown by this dotted blue line. Okay, this line and this one line. These dotted blue lines, they have some sense in computer, and these are called flow of control unit signal. Flow of control signal. These dotted lines are called flow of control signal. And these solid lines, these are flow of instruction and data. This solid line shows flow of instruction and data. Now I will discuss the specific purpose of ALU, arithmetical logical unit. It is a digital circuit which performs arithmetic and logical operations. Arithmetic means addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Logical operations are bitwise logical operations, or, and, not, XOR, etc. All the processors of CPU have very complex arithmetical logical units, and all graphical cards, they have also very complex arithmetical logical units. Next is memory unit, MU. It is that unit of CPU which holds or stores the input data for processing or output data to be delivered. Students, this is a very clear definition that memory unit will store whatever it receives from input unit. Okay, then it transfers this input data to arithmetical logical unit for arithmetical or logical calculations. And when finally the calculations are made, the result is again held by the memory unit. There are two types of memory in a computer. One is primary memory and the another one is secondary memory. This primary memory is further of two types. One is RAM and another one is ROM. This RAM is random access memory. And this ROM is read-only memory. Whenever we work with a computer, computer stores many informations or data for processing in a temporarily manner. Means when the computer is switched off, all that data or informations, they got lost. Therefore, this RAM is volatile in nature. The data or the information remains stored in RAM till computer is switched on. As we switched off the computer, all the data or the informations, they got automatically deleted. Read-only memory, this is non-volatile in nature. This is non-volatile. It means when the computer is switched off, any information stored in ROM, that remains forever. Okay? Students, many instructions or commands are given by the manufacturer of a computer to start the computer initially. Okay, so these instructions or commands are stored in a computer in the form of ROM, read-only memory. This memory remains permanently in the computer. And the second type of memory is secondary memory, and this is auxiliary type storage. This is auxiliary type storage. All the external devices used to store the data, information or output, they are part of secondary memory. CD, this DVD, pen drive, or the external hard disk, any type of external storage devices, secondary memory. Students, now I think input unit is clear to you. This ALU is clear to you, and I have made a discussion on MU also. I have also discussed the basic purpose of this control unit, but now I will discuss the technical part of this control unit. Means next is control unit. The main function of this control unit is coding and decoding. Of the instructions. In sequential order. Therefore, this unit has control over the input unit, arithmetical logical unit, and output unit. And then it shares the instructions with the memory unit. As I have shown here by these dotted lines are the control of CU to IU, OU, and ALU. And this solid line with MU shows that it shares the instructions with memory unit. Now I will discuss this last part of basic parts of a computer, output unit. Okay, the last one is output unit. Output unit transfers the result to a unit, to a device, easily understandable for the user. Okay, this unit will transfer the result to a device which is easily understandable for the user. And this device may be our monitor, which is VDU, visual display device unit, visual display unit. It can be our printer. We take out the print of the result. It can be a card punch. It can be a magnetic tape. Or a storage device also. Since now we take the output in pen drive or in some other storage device, and that storage device now can be called as output unit. This output unit takes the result from memory unit. Okay, as you see, basically this is CPU, or we may say that this output unit takes the result from this CPU, and then it display that output. Students, this part of lecture is over, and now I take a review. First, you see, initially we discuss what is a computer, and then we discuss the types of computer. Okay, here we have taken the every type of computer in use, and then we discuss the computer organization. Computer organization means basic parts of a computer, and these all are basic parts of the computer. Okay, input unit, CPU, and the output unit. And then what is input unit, what are the various constituents of CPU, and what is output unit. And we have taken also the examples of input unit. These are some examples of input unit. Okay, then we discuss in detail the various parts of CPU, ALU, MU, and CU, control unit. And the last one is, this is output unit. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Stay connected with my coming lectures on this computer fundamentals.